welcome to Know Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Jess and welcome to today's Flex and Tone Vinyasa Flow. So for today's class, we are going to be moving mindfully through a series of postures that are going to increase our muscle tone and work on our full body flexibility. So there are going to be a few challenging transitions and a few tricky postures that are going to be scattered in throughout the flow today, but don't worry, I'll be offering plenty of modifications for everybody throughout the class so that we can all enjoy the flow. We're going to be starting in child's pose today, so when you're ready, roll out your mats and I will see you there. All right, starting in our child's pose. So coming down to your knees, bringing your big toes to touch. Option to take your knees as wide as your yoga mat, or you can keep them closed. I'm going for a wide-legged child's pose today. So when you're ready, getting yourself comfortable in this position, slowly walk your hands forward, bringing your torso down until eventually your forehead meets the mat. Rest your elbows down, spread your fingertips wide, close your eyes and take a nice deep breath. As always, we take a moment to land here, to come into our breath, settling into the practice, coming into the present moment. Forget the day so far. Today's focus will be connecting breath to movement. So really focusing on coming into your breath here, breathing in deeply through your nose, filling your belly with air, and then releasing out through your nose or mouth. Increasing full body awareness. One last big breath in here. And as you exhale, slowly lift your forehead, take your gaze towards your hands, slowly start to lift your torso. Bring your hands in slightly. We're going to go into our downward facing dog. So when you're ready, curling your toes under and lift your hips up and back, taking your time. Tick-tocking the hips from side to side, slowly pressing one heel down and then the other. Just take a minute to get yourself comfortable here, warming up the body, stretching out the muscles, pressing your chest down towards your thighs, bending your knees generously. Coming back to your breath, breathing deep, pressing your fingertips into the mat, taking the weight out of your wrists, so spreading them nice and wide. Relaxing the back of your neck. On your next inhale, bend your knees, take your gaze towards your hands, and we're going to step to the top of the mat. Forward fold, clasping opposite hand with opposite elbow, just drape your torso down. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Swaying gently from side to side, feet are hip width apart. Feet are facing towards the top of the mat, parallel towards one another. Warming up the hamstrings, the glutes, the lower back. Gently swaying. Close your eyes here if you like. On your next exhale, release your hands down towards the mat and just hang as you exhale. As you inhale, bend your knees generously as we slowly roll up to standing, slowly, slowly taking your time. Last thing to come up is the crown of the head. Mountain pose. Drop your shoulders. Open your palms to the front of the mat and just take a second here to find a strong mountain pose, feeling the earth beneath your feet. Spread your toes wide and press them into the mat. Nice big breath in here. Exhale, sigh it out. On your next inhale, we're going to reach our hands all the way up to the sky, extended mountain pose. Take your gaze up towards your hands As you exhale, we forward fold slowly all the way back down, fingertips towards the earth. Inhale as we find a halfway lift, so press your hands into your shins, lift your torso up halfway, neck is nice and straight, spine is neutral. As you exhale, forward fold all the way back down. Nice. Planting your hands onto the mat, we step back to our plank pose. Plank pose. So bringing your shoulders and your wrists in line with one another, spread your fingertips nice and wide, pull the pit of your belly in and up. Nice big breath in here. Exhale, drop your knees down towards the earth. Nice, big breath in. As you exhale, lowering all the way to the belly. Uncurl your toes as you inhale, cobra. Lift your chest, option to take a low cobra here. And as you exhale, lower your forehead back down to the mat. From here, we're going to go back to our downward facing dog. However you get there is up to you. Pressing up to your hands and knees, curling your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Back to your downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. And exhale. Sigh it out. As you inhale, bend your knees, take your gaze towards your hands, step or jump, float to the top of the mat, find a forward fold here. Take a nice breath in here. And exhale. Release. Bend your knees generously. Let's roll all the way up to standing. Keep the momentum going as we reach our hands all the way up, extended mountain pose. Take your gaze up. Exhale, forward fold all the way back down. Take your time. Inhale, let's lift up halfway. Press your hands into your shins. Spine is long. Tug your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your hands, step your feet back, high plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, release. Forehead to the mat. On your next inhale, take yourself back to your downward facing dog. Lift your hips all the way up. Come back to your breath. One more sun salutation here. So as you're ready, big breath in as you take your gaze towards your hands. And exhale, jump towards the top of the mat. Find your forward fold. Nice. Inhale, we come all the way up to standing. Extended mountain pose, reach your hands all the way up. As you exhale, we forward fold all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift, press your hands into your shins. Tug your elbows in towards your ribcage. Exhale, chaturanga, stepping back to high plank. Big breath in here. Exhale, chaturanga. Option to take an upward facing dog. So pressing into the tops of the feet. Lift your thighs off the earth, upward facing dog, or take your cobra. Exhale, let's meet in our downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale, let's find stillness for a moment. Option to close your eyes, relax the back of the neck. Come back to your breath. On your next inhale, bend your knees, look towards your hands and make your way to the top of the mat. Step, jump or float, forward fold. From here, begin to bend your knees and slowly start to drop your weight into your heels. And as you lower your hips, your torso is going to lift, chair pose, reach your hands forward. Drop your hips. Again, really making sure you're dropping your weight into the heels. You should really be able to lift your toes here. Check careful you're not leaning too far forward. You really want to feel this in your glutes and your quads. Really dropping those hips. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears. Look forward. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold, release. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, chaturanga. Step back, high plank. Flow through your vinyasa here. Option to take upward facing dog as you inhale. Let's meet in downward facing dog. Take your time and take a breath. On your next inhale, we're going to step our right foot forward and find our warrior one. So pivot on the back foot, bending into that right knee. We're going to rise all the way up. Reach your hands all the way up, warrior one. Turning your torso to face the front of the mat. Inhale as you reach all the way up. Exhale. Relax your shoulders down. Inhale, reach, take your gaze up. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your hands, step back to high plank. Flow through your vinyasa. Option to take your upward dog or cobra here. And we meet in downward facing dog. Nice. Nice big breath in here. And exhale. Release. On your next inhale, left foot steps forward. This time we find warrior one on the left-hand side. So pivot on the back foot, bending into your left knee, sweep your hands forward and all the way up, bending generously into that left knee. Reach your hands all the way up towards the sky. Warrior one. Again, torso is facing towards the front of the mat. Big breath in, take your gaze up. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your hands, left foot steps back, plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale for your upward facing dog or cobra. And we head back to our downward facing dog when you're ready. Nice big breath in. Exhale. Release. Let's just take a moment to find our breath again. Bending through one heel and then the other. Should be feeling nice and warmed up by now. Ready for our main sequence. So when you're ready, pressing your left heel into the earth, we're going to lift our right leg for three-legged dog on the right side. Lift that right heel nice and high. Try to keep your hips as square as you can. Big breath in here. As you exhale, bend your right knee, and we're just going to find a few hip circles here. So drawing big circles with your right knee. Breathing deep as you do. Just a few here. As you bring your right knee round, bring it all the way in towards your chest, squeeze it in towards your nose. Nice. Inhale, kick your right foot all the way back up, back to your three-legged dog. As you exhale, bend that knee and squeeze it in towards your chest, knee to nose. Nice. Inhale, one more time, right leg lifts. As you exhale, right knee comes all the way in, knee to nose. Step that right foot forward. Let's find our warrior one on the right. Warrior one on the right side. Again, sweeping your hands all the way forward and up, bending into that right knee. Torso face towards the front of the mat. Inhale as you reach, take your gaze all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, release your hands. Bring your hands behind your back and just clasp opposite hand with opposite elbow as best you can. If you can't quite reach your elbows, then option to just clasp wrist and wrist like this. Either way, find what feels comfortable for you. Facing the torso towards the front of the mat, keep a generous bend in that knee. Inhale as you take your gaze up. You should feel a generous opening in your chest here. As you exhale, we're going to slowly lean forward. So torso comes over the top of your right thigh. Keep that generous bend in your right thigh. Press into the top of your right foot. Take your gaze down towards the earth. Nice. Nice big breath in here. As you exhale, option to go all the way down, humble warrior. Bowing the crown of the head down towards the earth. Pressing into both feet for stability here. Find your breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale. Release. One last breath in. And as you exhale, pressing into that right foot, we come all the way back up. Release your hands from your elbows. Pivot on the back foot, we come into our high lunge. So turning your hips towards the top of the mat, reach your fingertips forward and up. Inhale, take your gaze up towards the sky. And exhale, drop your hips down. Option to wiggle that back foot back a little bit. Find a nice hip flexor stretch there. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, we're going to step forward into our single leg raise from here. So right foot is your standing foot. Press into that right foot. Bend your back knee, bend your right knee. We're going to step all the way forward to standing. Sweep that left knee forward and catch your left knee with your hands. Standing leg raise. Tricky transition there. So however you got there, well done. Nice big breath in. And exhale. Release your right hand and place it on your hip. Keeping hold of your left knee with your left hand, slowly start to open your left knee out to the left. Doing your best to find your drishti, find your focus. And keep your hips facing towards the front of the mat. Nice big breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to bring our knee all the way back in, facing towards the top of the mat. Pressing into your right foot for stability. We're going to slowly start to bend our right knee. So slowly bending our right knee and cross your left knee over your right. Eagle pose. Reach your hands out ahead of you. Right elbow comes over the top of the left here. So you're in this sort of X position and find the bind. Drop your hips. If the bind is not there, you can just place your hands on your shoulders and lift your elbows. Or option to find the bind here. Find your drishti, find your balance. Big breath in. And exhale, drop your hips. One last breath here. And exhale, release the bind on your hands, release both feet. Inhale, reach your hands all the way up, extended mountain pose. And as you exhale, find your forward fold. All the way down, nice. Inhale, we lift up halfway, press your hands in towards your shins. Exhale, let's chaturanga. Step your feet back to your high plank. Big breath in here in your high plank. And exhale, chaturanga, lowering down, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And as you exhale, we make our way back to our downward facing dog. So pressing your hands into the mat, lift your hips, up and back. Downward facing dog. And we do the same on the other side. So take a nice deep breath in here and exhale. Release. Right heel presses into the earth this time as we lift our left foot. Left foot lifts all the way to the sky. Doing your best to keep your hips square here. Lift that heel as high as you can. Squeeze your left glute. A nice big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your left knee. Let's find those hip circles again. So drawing a big circle with your left hip this time. Left knee, big circles. Option to go one way and then the other. And then as you bring your left knee in, squeeze it in towards your chest. Knee to nose. Inhale, kick your left foot all the way back up. Three-legged dog on the left side. As you exhale, knee to nose. Bring it in. Inhale, kick it up one last time. And as you exhale, bring your left foot comes all the way forward and we find our warrior one on the left side again. So pivoting on the back foot, bending into that left knee generously. Sweep your hands forward and up, coming all the way up, warrior one. Inhale to lift. Take your gaze up, bending into that left knee generously, pressing into both feet for stability. Inhale. And exhale, we find the bind. So bringing your hands down and behind you. Again, if you can't quite reach your elbows, then option to just grab the wrists. Find what feels right for you. Inhale to open your chest and take your gaze up. And as you exhale, we're going to slowly bring our torso forward, draping it over the top of our left thigh this time, bending into that left knee generously, keeping your gaze down onto the mat. Big breath in here. And as you exhale, option to go into your humble warrior. Crown of the head comes down towards the mat. Pressing into both feet for stability. Nice big breath in here. And exhale. Tug your shoulders down and away from your ears. Inhale deeply. And then as you exhale, pressing into that left foot, we come all the way back up to our warrior one, releasing the bind. We're going to pivot on the back foot, find our high lunge once again. So bringing your torso towards the front of the mat, sweeping your hands forward and up. Inhale to reach. Take your gaze up towards the sky. And exhale. Option to walk that right foot back very slightly. You find a nice hip flexor stretch there as you inhale. Exhale, we're going to find our single leg raise on the other side this time. So bending the back knee, we're going to step forward, sweeping that right foot all the way forward and in. Grab that right knee, single leg raise. Left foot is your standing foot, right knee is pulled in towards your chest. Flex your right foot. And as you exhale, find your drishti. Find something ahead of you to gaze upon, your focal point. Spread your left toes wide and press them into the mat. This will help you balance. Left hand comes onto your left hip as you use your right hand to open your right hip out to the side. Find a little hip opening here. Nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, bring your right knee all the way back in. We're going to slowly find our eagle pose on the left side. So right leg crosses over the left this time. Option to find the bind with your hands as well. So reach your hands forward, left elbow comes over the top of your right. Find the bind. If the bind is not there for you, option to just place your hands on your shoulders and lift your elbows. Again, find your balance. If you fall out of the pose, no worries. Take your time, take a breath and join us when you can. Can you drop your hips any lower? Nice big breath in. And as you exhale, let's release. Nice, bend your knees, reach your hands all the way up. Extended mountain pose, take your gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. Inhale, we lift up halfway, press your hands into your shins, squeeze your elbows into your ribcage. And as you exhale, plant your hands, step back to high plank, chaturanga, flow through your vinyasa. Lowering down, inhale for your upward facing dog or cobra. And as you exhale, let's find downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, let's meet there. Take your time, take a breath. This is your last dog of the practice, so make it a great one. Pressing one heel down and then the other. Option to find stillness here for a breath. Press your right heel down into the earth and inhale, lift your left leg all the way up, three-legged dog on the left side. Exhale, bring your left knee in towards your chest and step it to the top of the mat. And we come all the way up to standing. Turn yourself to face the long side of your mat here. So you're in this wide-legged standing posture, facing the long side of your mat this time. Walk your heels in very slightly so that your feet are facing the outer corners of the front of the mat here. So your heels are in, feet are out. Bring your hands onto your hips. Big breath in. As you exhale, drop your hips, goddess pose. Do your best to keep your hips as neutral as possible. So careful you're not sticking your butt out too much. Bring it in if you can. But don't put any pressure on your hips. Find what feels comfortable for you. Everybody is different and every pose will look different on everybody. So no worries. Drop your hips. Big breath in. Exhale, lift your elbows, bring them into this cactus shape here. So palms are facing forward, elbows are in line with your shoulders. Open your chest, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Big breath in. And exhale. Release. As you inhale, straighten your legs, reach your hands all the way up. Keep your palms facing forwards. As you exhale, back to your goddess pose. 4 more. Inhale, moving with your breath. Exhale. Goddess pose. 3 more. With your own time, with your own breath. One more. Inhale to lift. And exhale. Goddess pose. Now stay here. Bring your hands to your hips. We're going to pulse for 10. Dropping your hips down, 9, and lifting slowly, 8, 7, you might start to feel a burn, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, release, straighten your legs. Inhale, lift your hands all the way up. And as you exhale, we're going to open our heels out so that our feet are in line with the sides of the mat. Find your forward fold here, so taking your chest forward, keeping your spine as straight as you can as you take your hands down towards the earth. Big breath in here. And then as you exhale, option to bring crown of the head down towards the earth. Wide-legged forward fold. Find your breath. Coming back to your breath. On your next inhale, use your hands to press yourself up. Let's find a halfway lift here. And then as you exhale, we're going to slowly bring our hands to our hips, hinging all the way back up, coming up to a stand. Heel toe your feet all the way back in and turn to face the top of the mat. From here, we're going to bend our knees, reach all the way up, extended mountain pose. As you exhale, forward fold. Nice. From here, you're going to bend your knees and keep bending until your hips come all the way down. You might start to notice your heels lift. That's all good. Let's find our toe stand. So toe stand, coming up onto your toes. Option to take your fingertips off the mat and come up into a balancing posture here. Spread your toes nice and wide. Inhale and exhale. Release. One last breath in here. And exhale, bring your hands, fingertips down towards the mat and come onto the back of your heels. We're going to find a seat. So get there however you like. Coming into a seat, centering yourself on the mat. Extend your legs out long. We're going to come down to lay on our backs. So take your time and hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug, wrap your forearms around your shins and just roll gently from side to side. And take a breath for a moment. On your next exhale, release your hands from your shins and bring your shins parallel towards the sky. So knees are stacked over your hips. Lower back should be flush to the mat. If you find that when you bring your knees forward over your hips, your lower back comes up, bring your knees very slightly back to ensure that your lower back stays nice and flush on the mat. So find what feels comfortable for you. Bring your hands, interlace your fingertips and bring them behind your head. Lift your head, neck and shoulders off the mat. Big breath in here. As you exhale, tap your right toes down onto the mat. And as you exhale, bring them back up. Inhale. Exhale, left toes touch the mat. Inhale to bring them back up. And we go on the other side, right toes touch. Inhale to lift. Exhale, left toes. Inhale to lift. Exhale, right toes tap. Inhale, lift. We're going to do 5 more. Exhale, left toes. Inhale, lift. Right toes tap. Left toes tap. Keep that lift in your chest. 1 more on the left side. And bring them both back up. Shins are parallel towards the sky. Big breath in here. Keep that lift in your head, neck and chest if you can. Exhale, both toes tap the mat this time. Inhale, lift. 4 more. Exhale, toes tap the mat. Inhale to lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. 1 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Last time. Inhale, lift. Bring your knees all the way in. Wrap your hands around your shins and let's roll again from side to side. Well done. Exhale. Now from here we're going to find a nice supine twist. So again, bring the knees out parallel towards the sky. Cactus T with your hands, so palms are facing up towards the sky. Allow your knees to fall to the right. Keep your chest and both hands planted firmly on the mat. Options to take your right hand and just put a little bit of pressure on that knee if you want to find more of an opening down the left side. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to your breath here. Let's take another few breaths in your own time. On your next breath in, release your hands back down to the mat. Using your core strength here, we're going to lift both knees all the way back up and through center and allow them to fall to the left. Left hand can come on top of your right knee. Find more of an opening down the right side of your body. Nice side body stretch here, nice spinal twist. Do your best to keep your right shoulder, right elbow firmly planted on the earth. And take a few breaths here in your own time. And as you inhale, come all the way back through to center. Keep the soles of your feet together, open your knees wide and drop your feet down. Supta Konasana, reclined butterfly. If you need any added support underneath your hips, you can put some pillows or blocks underneath your hips. You can go ahead and do that now. This is the position we will close this practice in. Option to rest your hands on your belly or have them down on the earth, palms facing up. You choose how you would like to close today. Close your eyes if you haven't already and breathe deep. If Ujjayi breath is in your practice, feel free to bring that in now. So finding that constriction in the back of the throat. Find that ocean sound. Bringing your awareness back to this moment, focusing on the sound of your breath. Option to stay in your Supta Konasana or extend your legs out long for Shavasana. Wherever you are, we shall close this practice here with 3 breaths together. So wherever you are in your breath cycle, blow it all the way to the bottom. Seal your lips and inhale deeply through your nose. Exhale, sigh out. 2 more just like that. Last time. Nice. Thank you so much for joining me today for this full body vinyasa flow, flex and tone. I really hope you enjoyed the practice and I will hopefully see you again for class next week. As always, if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my yoga channel. That way, every time I upload a video, you'll be notified and you can practice along with me every week. I would love to have you there with me. Have a wonderful day.